Curb Servers, The Tales of Little Wino, Episode 4. Growing up, me and Little Wino obviously was always tight. Little Wino taught me a lot. We was real tight, but I looked up to him a little bit because he was a little older than me. So we always had a little more game. Ever since we was little. Before the games kicked in, we were just badass little kids, to be honest with you. That's all we were. Just some badass little kids. All of us. Because remember, the Crips that pushed all the Bloods off the block. We only had Ben and Slick left sitting on the block that was the Bloods. And then everything else was starting to become a Crip. Little Wino, he always had Crip aspirations. So before he actually became a Crip, we were just young kids on the block. We used to travel different places, and we always had a get out of jail free card. I don't gangbang. Once you start getting towards junior high school, a lot of kids start making decisions that can change their life. Little Wino always looked up to Maze. Maze couldn't do no wrong in Little Wino eyes. That was Little Wino's real big homie. Maze used to always take Little Wino everywhere he went. Whenever he traveled, come on, Little Wino, go with me. And he would travel with him. Right before everybody started to make their little choices of what gang they wanted to join, everybody was already saying cuz. Kids that wasn't even Crips, they were saying cuz. It was just flowing off their tongue. Ben and Slick used to look at them with disgust. And they wasn't even Crips yet. This how much influence the Crips had on the block. These little kids were looking to join a gang. Right before Little Wino joined the gang, we used to go to different movie theaters. And one of the movie theaters we used to go to was in Huntington Park. There was this movie theater called the California. If you know, then you know. Now, one day, we all go to the California to go watch the movie. And this day, we're in a movie, and everybody's laughing, making jokes. After the movie, you go hang out in the lobby, and you wait for the next movie to start, and then you go see your next movie. When we went to go hang out in the lobby, there was a lot of black kids there because Huntington Park is a Latin-dominated area. We would see black kids there. This day, there was a gang of black kids in there, and they was wearing a lot of red. We coming out between the movie theaters. We got 15 minutes. May get some popcorn. Get some red vines. If your money right, you might get you some nachos, a beef hot dog. There was no time for snacks. Immediately, you can read the room. There was a lot of Bloods in this movie theater, and they were everywhere. At some point, we started looking at each other. It was Jack, Little Wino, me, Edie, who else was there? Okay, don't matter. We all kind of looking at each other like, damn, look at all these other teenagers, and they got on all red. So the teenagers started looking at us. It was obvious another pack of black kids, they just came out of the movie theater. So they started looking at us up and down. They walked right up to us. Hey, what's up, blood? Where y'all from? The pressure was on immediately. Like I said, this is right before everybody was starting to make gang choices. So everybody had that get out of jail free card. I don't bang. That was what everybody was repeating. Because it was like 25 of them, and they were starting to surround us. And we was like, oh, no, we don't bang. But they was on Jap. Because you got to remember, Jap is like 3 years older than us. So he probably was the oldest kid there. And they walked up on Jap. Hey, where you from? Jap said, I don't bang. They said, why you got on that jacket? Back in those days, the starter jackets was hot in the streets. Jap family was from Denver. I always had family in Denver and had people coming to visit from Denver, coming to hang out on the block. Jap always wore Denver Broncos gear. And he had this brand new Denver Broncos starter jacket. And it was blue with like the orange writing that said Broncos. Yeah, it was fly. Yeah, and the Bloods noticed it too. See those Bloods? Now, these Bloods, they was from the Pueblos, and they was deep, and they was sweating Jack. What's up, nigga? Why you got that flu coat on? That's what they told him. Jap said, oh, it's just my favorite football team. They said, yeah? Take that jacket off and turn it inside out, blood, right now. What y'all think Jap did? Jap immediately took that jacket off, turned it inside out, put it back on, wiped his nose. Shout out to Jap. You goddamn right. He turned that jacket inside out, put it back on, and said, no, sir, yes, sir. Is there any more problems, sir? Because he already know what was coming. A good old-fashioned pack out. Yeah, they was going to pack his ass out right there inside the movie theater, and there was nothing none of us to do about it. Yeah, because all the rest of us, we was worried about getting packed out too. About 5 or 6 of them have surrounded little Wino. See, I told you, little Wino always thought he was a gangster. He thought he was a hooligan. So he dressed like a little gangster sometimes. But at this point, he wasn't quite from nowhere. But they was on his ass anyway. Hey, what's up? Where you from? Little Wino trying to look hard. He's like, I don't gang bang. They're like, yeah, why you looking like that though? So a couple of them start surrounding him, looking like they're about to beat him up. Next thing you know, Edie come pushing up over there. Nah, y'all not about to jump my brother. What's happening with it? Leave my brother alone. Y'all not about to do that to him. They kind of bagged up. You know, I don't know if she shocked them, just her presence. They was like, what? And so the staff kind of came and was like, hey, you know, y'all got to, you know, break this up, break this up. They trying to jump my brother. They trying to jump my brother. And they were trying to like explain like it wasn't like that. And we all kind of got together and walked out the front and took off running, trying to get to the bus stop to get back to the boulevard. And as we looked behind us, there was a bunch of Bloods running behind us. We had to take off, running full speed. Yeah, it was a foot race. But after a block or two, the Bloods stopped giving chase. That was the last day. The homies from the block mounted up and went to the California in Huntington Park. We had made it back to the block. We're tired. We're scared. We had the shit scared out of us. Y'all don't know. Because that could have easily been a pack out. If they really wanted to, they could have just started packing us out right there in the movie theater because Jap was only like maybe 15, 16 at the most. The rest of us was 12 and 13. Yeah, they could have packed us all up and wasn't shit we can do about it. But we made it back to the block. And they told us, well, y'all better stop fucking around. Stop venturing off so far. There's dangers out there. There's sharks out there in the water. Don't be swimming deep in the water. There's sharks out there. This what was told to us. Don't go swimming out with the sharks. As we hanging out later that day, Mays walk up. He's hearing the gossip about what happened. Of course, he's worried about little Wino. He's telling them, what happened? What happened? Little Wino's telling him the story. Yeah, we went to the movie theater. You know, a bunch of blood surrounding us. They was about to pack us out, but the staff kind of came in between, and we had to run, and they chased us, and yada, 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 yada. My sister, Edie, she had to jump in and keep him from packing me out. I told y'all, Edie always was the biggest gangster between the two of them. She's just a different breed of cloth. As he's telling what happened to Mays, Mays is laughing, but kind of disgusted. Like, damn, cuz, you just bowed out like that? Little Wino said, well, what was I supposed to do? He said, man, you know what? That's it for you. I'm taking you to the hood. From now on, you're going to stop telling people, I ain't from nowhere. I'm tired of hearing you say that shit. So little Wino left with Mays. He said, I'll be back. When they came back, little Wino had a little different walk. He had a little different swag. For the first time, we was like, hey, what's up, little Wino? What's happening? With that Spoonie G. Watts light. And we was like, what? That is the end of Curve Servers. Little Wino, episode 4. Get your popcorn ready. It's about to get interesting.